Hello, Leo. Thank you very much for tuning into your love read. For the main part of the read, I'm using the Daily Tarot by Renata Lechner. For the supportive oracle cards, I'm using the Magical Spell cards by Lucy Cavendish, illustrated by Jesse Reisch. The last name is R-E-I-S-C-H, if you want to know. Alright. Relationship first, single second, Leo. And the oracle cards come out where necessary. We got your strength card right first card, so I feel like you're in your power for this one, so that feels good. I wonder, yeah, it might be that's the time frame for this. Now that I think of it, we might be in Leo for when this is effective. Might be, and I say might because typically if you're drawn towards a reading, it's probably right for you at that moment. Either it's warning you about something, or it's helping you prepare, or it's explaining something for the past. So I'm going to put my little 2 cents out there about that. You are standing in a really good spot. The question is, do you think so? When it comes to this relationship, you got the Strength card and you got the Success card. Leo, the Strength, the Lion, it feels like you're in a really good spot. This relationship feels really good to me. And I'm seeing what's flanking it here is the Ace of Cups in your partner's spiritual sense. Ace of Cups with the Energy card. They're very passionate, very much in love with you, very passionate about being in love with you. They want to do things with you. They want to be with you and be actively doing things. It feels like things are matching pretty good at this point. And I'm getting on your side, you're very grounded in this relationship. You're very stable. Now the question is, what's coming forward next? Because there's definitely there's a next phase coming in. And I'm seeing the wheel on your partner's side. I'm getting like that Ace of Pentacles is you making it clear where you think this should go next. There's some type of plan, there's something you want. You're putting it right there, like this is what I think, well, this is what I'm going to do, or this is what we're going to do. I feel like it's more like this is what we're going to do. I want to say this is what I'd like to do, but that's not, I don't feel like that's really how this is flowing. This is what we're going to do, is how I feel it coming in. Ace of Pentacles, you're like, this is not only coming in now, but this is going to be how it is for a while. Like, we're going to stick to this. This is you and me. This is what we're going to do. This is like you and me, kid. This is what we're going to do. This is what we got. And your partner has the Wheel of Fortune on their side. Like, they're very well aware that you're very passionate, very driven. When you say what you're going to do and start moving, you're literally going to achieve it. They're completely expecting this is going to happen. Now, like, you got the Death card in your spiritual sense. Literally, a new phase. This is not a small thing. I feel with this Ace of Pentacles and the Death card, like, what you're putting in here, it's almost like a change of residence for some of you. Like a whole new house and a whole new neighborhood. Or maybe you're taking the relationship up a level. Something is significant here. Some of you are buying like a camp, I feel, or something like that. There's something significant, something very significant to the relationship. Because if it's something like that, you're expecting like you're going to spend time with your partner doing whatever this is. Something significant is definitely moving forward. And they're telling me if this is hitting with you, you're going to know what that is right off the bat. So I don't feel like I need to go crazy about that. The thing is, your partner, they love you. The love is overwhelming. And they have a lot of passion towards you. They do want to do things with you. But I'm getting like, I don't understand if they're not getting your vision or if they're not wanting to do it. Because I'm getting the Ace of Swords on your side. In the action line next, I'm getting where they're standing is the Queen of Swords. Their challenge card is the King of Swords. And what's happening in the next part of the line is the Four of Cups. Which all of this together, I feel like you have to convince them that this is a good move. Because I feel like they're not convinced. They're not like the whole situation, the situation as a whole, they're not on board with. I do feel like they're going forward with it. But especially the King and Queen of Swords, the Queen is where they're standing, the King is their challenge. Like I feel like there's the way they're looking at it is like there's loopholes, or there's like the plan isn't formed well enough. Like they're afraid it's not going to succeed. Like there's some open spots that need to be planned, or there's some financing that needs to be filled in here, something like that. And I feel like the way it's moving forward, they're thinking it's not going to be as good as it could be because it's going forward too fast. Things need to slow down, and like almost like there needs to be more preparation for this. I don't feel your energy connecting that way. I feel like your energy is like, no, we can do this. We just one foot in front of the other. It'll fill in. We'll figure it out as we go. We just keep going. We'll figure it out as we go. It'll be fine. But I feel like that's the controversy here. You're ready. You're like, let's just do it. It'll work out. We'll work it out as we go. We'll work it out as we go. Just keep moving. Just keep going. And they seem to be like, no, we need to plan a little more. No, we don't have enough to do that yet. No, we're not ready for that yet. And you seem to be on the side of like, we just keep going and we figure it out as we go. We just do. Let's just do it. Just do. That seems to be the conflict. That's the conflict I'm feeling here. Now your challenge card is the Six of Pentacles with Aphrodite's love spell. I feel like your partner acknowledging something that's lacking here, that could actually benefit you. Talking this out a little bit more will work. Talking this out a little bit more seems like it's applicable. It will. You'll do that is what I'm getting. A little bit more. I'm getting the final energy is it will move forward. It's like we're not going to sit around and talk about this all day. I'm getting you won't do that. That's how it feels. If this reading is hitting with you, you're in a forward motion. You're like, I am going. We are going. This is doing. But there is a couple things that I feel like you should slow down and listen to your partner with. At the very least, just so you have a heads up and you have it in the back of your mind, like, okay, we're a little short on cash. I'll make sure I keep a lookout for that, so I fix that as I go. We're going to be a little short on time in this section here, so I got to keep my eye open in that, how I can stretch that time or make that a little better. Like, there's a couple things your partner's pointing out that you need to hear, is what I'm getting, and you need to, like, connect with. I don't feel like it's going to slow you down all that much. I just feel like it's things that you're going to be like, oh, okay, yeah, I can keep that in mind. I'll take care of that. I feel like they're highlights. There's highlights here that you need to let your partner kind of bring to your attention. I don't feel it stopping you from moving forward, though. I got to be honest. Because what makes things better with your partner is like I feel like they just have to have a little trust, a little faith that you're going to make it work out. They got the Five of Cups. The situation is not all bad, but I feel like they're nervous. They're nervous because they don't feel like the plan is airtight. They're nervous. But that seems to be helping them because they got good cheer and safe travel. When this works out, I do feel like you're going to make it work out. This comes in a couple pieces here because I'm getting conflicting information here. All right, so this does work out. They have to go through this moment where they're going to be nervous. It is going to work out. It's going to work out, but they need to have these nervous moments. They have to have these moments where they're like, I don't know how this is going to work out. But the good cheer and the safe travel, I feel like that's connecting with you. Because that good cheer and Five of Cups, I'm like, well, that doesn't seem to match. They're saying this is more about what they're experiencing while it's happening. The Five of Cups, like, it's not all bad, but they're nervous. They don't understand how things are going to work out. But then as it gets closer and closer to the goal, the good cheer, and then they're seeing, like, not only did they enjoy the trip more than they expected, whatever it is the process was, they enjoyed it more than they expected. It worked out. The safe travel, you made it work out. One of the reasons, though, that this turned out as well as it did, and what's pulling in with the good cheer and safe travel for them, is that one moment where they are bringing forth all these things that, like, we don't have enough money, we don't have enough time, blah, blah, blah. And you're like, well, we don't have enough money maybe for this part, but I can work on that. I can have enough money by the time that comes around. We may not have enough time here and here, but that's not the whole thing, and I can work with that. I can work around that. You acknowledging it and keeping it in the back of your mind, and then realizing that you did hear them, and you use that information. Like, after this is all said and done, this is making this really a very strong situation where they're like, oh, all right, I was nervous. It was a bit of a scary situation. My partner did hear me though, and they did work it out. Like, I feel like they're still at the end. I have to say, I feel like they're still kind of like, I don't know how they did it. Like, they're looking at you like, I don't know how the Leo did it. I don't know how they did it, but they did it. They did it. And I feel like you listening to them made the situation better, but it also made your partner feel better because they felt like they participated. I still feel like they don't understand how you actually did it. I feel like they're a little like, I don't know how you did it. But it did work out, and I feel like it's building faith in you a little bit more. Like, they thought it was going to be too much, and even for you, you weren't going to be able to overcome some of these challenges, and then you did. And they're feeling like they contributed to that because you listened to them. They're feeling really good about it. Did this all make sense? I feel like it did. A lot of times with the fire energy, I start to race through, so I hope I didn't. There is an option on the video to make it go slower, if you need to. Hopefully that helps. So we got that. Are we done? All right, I think we got the message out. All right, so let's do Leo's single Leos and see what we got for you guys. What do we got for single Leos? What are the messages for single Leos? Empowering information that shows them the truth about what's happening, helps them move forward in a way that they want to, and strengthens the situation. Brings forth the truth so they can move forward the way they want to, so they can see the truth and they can evaluate it and make the best decisions for the situation. That card showed up again. I think it showed up twice for Aries. The Love of Pete. Okay, let's do some of these cards. You have a very interesting ending. And I'm not going to just judge the card that's there because it's with another one. What exactly it's talking about is a good question. And I might as well tell you what it is. That's it. That's it. It's the Devil card, but it's right next to the Fool card, and that seems to be how this is ending. Which doesn't necessarily mean this is headed in a bad direction. We'll have to see what he wants to say when we get there. Because there might be some other hang-ups that are actually becoming an issue that really aren't as bad as it might seem at first glance. When I'm coming into this situation, when I'm feeling this energy start, it's right in the center with the Six of Swords and the King of Wands. The situation you're a part of, or that's pulling you, well, I shouldn't say pulling you, the person you have passion for, you got the Six of Swords and the King of Wands. I feel like the energy over on the side here, the Two of Wands, the Two of Swords for this person, where they're not moving, they're not saying yes, they're not saying no, you're not, it's like there's an inaction here. They're indecisive. They don't know what to do. It's like kind of like how I'm reacting right now. You're kind of like, well, if you don't know what to do, and you can't move forward, and you don't want to say no, but you can't move forward, I'm going to move on. And I feel like your initial reaction is to move on. And you got the King of Wands, which I feel is your energy, just kind of like, don't get caught up in the gender, of course, but you're just like, listen, you don't know, I do, and since you don't know, and I do, I feel like this is a no-go, so I'm out. I'm just going to move on. Thanks. I feel like you're a little aggravated about it, just to be fair. Only because it's kind of like, I know exactly how I feel, and you just seem to be not able to make a decision. That's not going to work for me, because if you're not able to make a decision, to me that's still a no. I'm going to move on. Now, one of the reasons I feel like that's happening is because you have already been thinking about this person. I feel like you've been talking with this person. There's been slow conversations. Every now and then it's been a possibility. It's not like this is a new situation for this person. It's not like it's a new thought. It's not like you shocked them out of the blue and said, you know what, let's do something about this. It seems like it's going little by little over time, little by little, and just you finally got to the point where you were like, you know what, we should either do something or not. And they're like, well, I don't know. And you're like, well, you've been, I don't know for too long, so I do. And I'm going to move on. Now, this you'd think would be the end of it. But I'm getting this person with the Nine of Pentacles at the top. You do see a lot of value. You do have a lot of feelings for this person. And I'm getting Your thoughts with the Hermit card, that's where you're standing. You just can't seem to get your thoughts off this person. I feel like your initial reaction is to move on. But when it comes to this situation, this person really like impresses you, and you do like them, and you do like how they live their life. I just feel like you're frustrated with the moment, kind of like we've been talking about this for a while, and like, why can't we just move forward? And if you don't know, I do. I'm moving on because I'm sick of waiting. That's your initial reaction, but your thoughts are still around this person. And I'm getting it again with the King of Pentacles and the Divine Guidance. I feel like you literally can't get them out of your thoughts. The King of Pentacles with the Divine Guidance is like, it may be more spiritually based than not, where that energy just keeps coming towards you. You just keep thinking about it. You're telling yourself you're over it, you're moving on, but meanwhile your heart's saying, oh, I like that person. Oh, I miss that person. I really wish that could have worked out, blah, 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 blah. And I'm getting there's a history here. It feels like there's a history. I'm getting the Page of Pentacles. There's some type of history. It's been thought about for a while. I just feel like you're frustrated. It feels like you've been waiting too long, and if it was going to happen, it should have happened by now. But I'm also seeing, besides your heart still being in it, besides your mind still being in it, even though you're telling this person, all right, then I'm moving on, I'm getting your actions are not moving you away from this person. In fact, I'm getting the Page of Wands at the bottom here. You could literally be telling this person, all right, I'm moving on. Never mind. We'll be friends, or we'll just whatever. But I feel like you're still involved with this person. Whatever you were doing before this moment with this person is what you're doing after this moment with this person. So if you were hanging out every now and then, just talking, before you said, all right, then the relationship thing's not going to happen, I'm moving on from it, you're still doing that after this fact is what I'm getting. Nothing seems to be changing there. I just feel like you might be telling this person, if you don't know, I do, never mind, I'll move on. But I feel like you're still doing the same thing. I don't feel like you're moving on. I feel like your heart and mind is still with it. You're still hanging around this person the same as you were. Ironically, even though you say those words, I feel like it just kind of like, it makes a dent on this person. And they're thinking at some point you actually will move on if they don't want to move forward. They seem to recognize that you haven't really moved on yet, though. But they're looking at it like, even though you haven't moved on just yet, that like you will. And I feel like they're afraid you're gonna fade out of their life if they don't do something. I do feel like they mull it over, they think about it, and then this card happens. The Sun card with the Romance. They make a passionate move towards you. The Sun card is a beautiful moment. It's what you want. It's what they want. The Romance is telling me literally this is a passionate moment. I don't feel like we have to beat that to death. I feel like that's basically what that's saying. It's a really great moment. Romance, it's all there. Now, of course, if you've been watching this since I put the cards down, I did mention how the two cards that are at the end here. You're the Fool. They're the Devil. That didn't really sound that great, did it? You're just like optimism. Let's keep going. This is great. We're going to build from this moment. They don't want to move forward this fast. They got caught up in a passionate moment, and I feel like they're uncomfortable, and they're forcing themselves to move forward. I feel like there was a lot of passion there. It was a great moment. But I'm also getting they're not happy. Like, they're not ready for this. For one reason or another, they're not ready for this. But the Devil card is telling me that they're just going along with it because they know that's what you want and they don't want to lose you. The Fool card is you don't seem to see it. You're just optimism going forward. This is what I want to happen. Let's just keep going. I feel like you need to evaluate this person and how they run their life and about this moment and how fast it went forward. Is it more like you or is it more like them? Because I feel like if you recognize that it's really not normal for them to do this and they keep pushing forward, that's where I feel like you're heading for a snag at some point because they're fighting their natural energy. And I feel like this could be a big problem at some point. I know that was harsh when I first said that, when they said you're the fool and they're the devil. Because I feel like they're not going to be able to do this too long. They're going to try to hold themselves to this. They're going to try to keep with the standard and keep pushing forward. But I feel like they're not going to be able to do it indefinitely. This is a harder energy. I feel like, what are you supposed to do with this? I feel like that's what I'm asking. Look at the situation. Look at them from what you know about them, they're saying. Is this, the way this is going at this point, is it more like you or is it more like them? Because I feel like you're going to realize, that, especially if this reading is really hitting, that they're going forward at your pace and not their pace. They can't keep going forever at that pace. It's not their natural way to do things. It's not going to work. If you identify it soon enough, I feel like you can create, at the very least, a conversation to understand what they're doing and why. It's heavy. It's not it's a hard conversation, I'm going to be honest with you. Because I feel like things have to go back to what they were for a little while, and then you have a chance to really lock this in. Because I feel like if you identify what's going on and why they're doing it, I feel like it's going to regress the situation. But then I feel like you have an honest chance to make this lock in. Otherwise, I feel like you're headed for like a burnout. And that's how that's ending. Alright, I feel like we got there. I'm going to shut that down there. I hope that helps. Of course, if you'd like a direct reading from me, shoot me an email, jamesforastral@gmail.com. It's James, the number 4, astral@gmail.com. Thank you.